Hi everybody, let's go over the practice problems. In case you missed it and you're not sure why. Also going over these problems before the test would be helpful because some will look very familiar. Okay, so the first problem, we have 6 pounds of apples and this person is making applesauce. And for each container of applesauce, they use 1/2 pound of apples. So are we going to divide the containers or are we going to divide the 6 pounds of apples? I think it seems like we should be dividing the apples. So it's going to be 6 divided by, oops, the paper stuck. 6 divided by 1/2. Okay? And what do we do when we have a fraction in the problem? We keep the first number, change the sign to multiplication, and we flip the second number. So now we have 6 times 2 over 1, which is the same as 6 times 2, which is 12. So she's able to make 12 containers of applesauce. Okay. So this is the question with the race, and this one probably had the most questions today. So each team is running 3 miles, and each member of the team runs 1/3 of a mile. And they wanted to know how many people each team needed in order to finish this race. So my question was, are we going to split up the miles, or are we going to split up the people, I'm sorry, the parts of the mile? Well, it would seem to me that we're going to split up the miles, and here's why. I'm going to show you this this number line. So we have the 3 miles here, okay? And each member runs 1/3 of a mile. So that means between 0 and 1, you have someone running 1/3 of a mile, another person running 1/3 of the mile, and then there's the third person. So that's 1/3 of a mile, 1/3 of a mile, 1/3 of a mile. Then we have another third, and another third. Okay? So we're definitely dividing the miles by thirds. So the equation is 3 divided by 1/3. We keep the first number, change the sign, find the reciprocal of the second number, and then we multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. I'm not even bothering with the denominators here because we all know that there's an invisible 1 under this 3. And if we multiply 1 times 1, we get an invisible 1 under this 9. And 9 over 1, or any fraction with over a 1, equals that whole number. Okay, so here we have 8 pies cut into pieces that are 1/6. So I drew out the pies and then I cut them into pieces. And I wanted to show you how we're not cutting up the pieces, we're cutting up the pies. So it should be 8 divided by 1/6. Oops, let me move this up. Okay. So we're going to keep the first number, change the sign, find the reciprocal of the second number. 8 times 6 is 48. And if you count, you can count that there are 48 little pieces in my pies. Okay? And the last question had 2 parts. So the first part said that they're making bows out of ribbon, and each bow uses 1/4 of a yard of ribbon, and they have 3 yards. And you really could use a number line just like we did in this one. You know, we could write 0, 1, 2, 3, and then divide each of the yards by 1/4. But I'm just going to show you the equation. So it would make sense that we're dividing the yards of ribbon, okay? So we're going to divide 3 by 1/4. So keep the first number, change the sign, flip the second. We have 3 times 4 is 12. Okay? And then they changed it a little bit and they said, okay, instead of 3 yards, now we have 18 yards. Excuse me. That doesn't really change our problem. It's still going to be now 18 yards divided by 1/4. But this is a much bigger number, and I can't do the math in my head. But we're just going to first set it up. So keep the first number, change the sign, find the reciprocal of the second. So we know we have to multiply 18 times 4. Can't do that in my head, so over on the side I'm going to write it out. I'm going to do 18 times 4. 8 times 4 is 32. Put the 2 here. Excuse me. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So the answer is 72. Okay, so I hope this helps you guys. It's really helpful to watch these videos, so thank you if you are. I really look forward to seeing how you guys do in the test. I hope it's really good, and I will see you next time.